Are you ready for it? Are you ready for it? Baby, let the games begin. Let the games begin. Let the games begin now. Baby, let the games begin. Let the games begin. Let the games begin. I see how this is gonna go. Touch me and you'll never be alone. Island breeze and lights down low. No one has to know. Are you ready for it?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome into tonight's basketball matchup of Matamidi Zephyrs taking on the St. Croix Lutheran Crusaders. I'm Mills Armitage, honored to be alongside my good buddy, friend Timmy Lindquist, who is on the varsity men's basketball team here at Matamidi High School. And the tip-off just happened, and the Zephyrs currently have the ball. Timmy, it is an honor to be with you. How's it going?
I gotta be honest, it's an honor to be here. When you first asked me about this, I was a little unsure what to expect, but I'm glad to make the most of it and watch the Zephyrs get a win tonight, hopefully.
Meanwhile, there's Annika Sugstead on the floor, able to draw the foul, able to draw the foul, and she'll go to the free throw line to shoot two.
One thing I've heard a lot about this women's Zephyr basketball team is that they get to the line a lot. If I heard the other night, they had almost 40 free throws. Is that correct?
Yes, Timmy. They did not shoot, but they made 45 free throws. And I do believe that set a record here in the last 10 years of girls basketball in the state of Minnesota.
In fact, that might even be the entire nation, for all we know.
That could be true. I know that's one of the main aspects the guys' team struggled with last year. And it was very impressive to see the girls excelling at that.
Absolutely.
Meanwhile, here is St. Croix Lutheran now on the offensive end. Number 2, Gaddison has the ball. And she takes that to the hoop. She's able to score for her first points of the night. Here come the Zephyrs. Ladies and gentlemen, a little background on Timmy Lindquist, as I said before. He's a varsity basketball player here at Matamidi. But, I mean, you could just call him Mr. Everything. He was on the varsity football team that went to state this year. And he was also on lacrosse team. He scored 26 goals this past season.
To be honest with you, I don't know, but that sounds like you are well informed.
Folks, he doesn't know. That's how good he is. And, of course, excelling on and off the court, in the classroom, overall.
All right. Enough about me.
Just a great. Back to the action on the court, and my goodness, Gaddison.
Number 2, Audrey Gaddison, off to a very hot start. She's hit a beautiful floater in the lane and then just walked down and hit a 3. St. Croix is up 5-2, and they're running a zone that is currently puzzling the Matamidi Zephyrs. We'll see if they're going to spend a timeout or let the girls figure it out.
Yeah, so far, good start by Gaddison nailing the floater and then the long jumper. And now here's the Zephs. Emma Grotehouse with the board. She gives it to Laughlin. Look inside to Farrell. That's got to be a foul. And
foul on Audrey Gaddison. That's her first. Team's second. And I believe it is on the ground, so it will be Matamidi ball out of bounds on the baseline.
Folks, I think we have our first sub of the night. Checking in the game, number 21, Rachel Montgomery, in for St. Croix Lutheran.
It's looking like St. Croix Prep is running a 2-3 zone here as Emma Grotehouse wheels and deals and gets the first bucket of the night for her and looks to kind of pull apart the zone a little bit, hopefully, for the Matamidi Zephyrs.
You know, Timmy, 2-3 zone, that's a classic. Something my recreational basketball team loves to run. During our games and in season, it is very, very useful. And it's a call on the floor here by the referee.
Yes, we have a very questionable call. It looked to be a foul on Emma Grotehouse, but turned into a double dribble, and it is Matamidi basketball.
Zephs will take it. Crusader fans not quite sure about that call, but nonetheless, here come the Zephyrs. Annika Sugstead has the ball. Here's Hannah Laughlin now. And a foul going the other way.
Now, I've seen a much more popular trend in ref calling. They've been calling a lot of offensive screen fouls. What are your thoughts on this? Do you think it should be no call, or do you think it's fair?
You know, I think it really depends on the situation. I'm not a fan of the offensive calls that are really ticky-tack. Like, you had a lot of those in your game last night, Timmy. Meanwhile, here's Sugstead. Finishes the easy 2. But it's such a tough call to make for the referee, so.
I just feel like sometimes it impedes on the fluidity of the game, and sometimes it makes it so there's just too many fouls, and the offense doesn't really get a chance to get going. But I see where the refs are coming from as St. Croix Prep scores an easy layup, and that is number 5, Abby Rash. What are your thoughts on the game so far, Nils?
I have to say, Timmy, I'm impressed with St. Croix Lutheran because the Zephs' last home game, they were dominating it in just about every aspect of the game. And it looks like St. Croix Lutheran is becoming a better matchup here for the Zephyrs. But meanwhile, Sugstead nails that 3.
Yeah, that's going to be crucial tonight, that the Zephyrs are able to spread out that 2-3 zone and hopefully pull them out with their long-distance shooting. So that was a very good and well-timed shot by Annika Sugstead. I mean, a foul on the floor by Eve Farrell. It is her first, I believe, and team's second, so it will be St. Croix ball on the baseline.
I don't know about that last call, Timmy. It looked like Eve Farrell was straight up on that one, but
let me correct myself. It was a shooting foul, so number 35 for St. Croix Prep, Stephanie Miller, is at the line, shooting 2. And she makes her first, so that puts the score at 9-8 Zephyrs with 13:56 remaining in the game.
Some substitutions here for the Zephyrs. We got Saley Underwood checking in, the younger sister of Josie Underwood, and then number 31, Lydia Mall. And then back for St. Croix Lutheran, number 2, Gaddison.
You know, this is an interesting call by the coach early in the game, putting in some younger girls, getting some good experience. You and I both know we're a senior-heavy team. We start 5 seniors. What are you looking to see from these younger girls that might show a bright future?
For St. Croix Lutheran?
For Matamidi.
Oh, for Matamidi.
Yep, so we got...
Oh, yeah, most definitely. You know, I think they got to show some hustle. They got to show some grit, because obviously they're going up against girls that are older than them. But what I've seen from the likes of Saley Underwood, she's very good on the defensive end, uses her size well. Here's St. Croix Lutheran. Got the ball, offensive end.
It's pretty clear this far in the game that the whole St. Croix offense revolves around number 2, Audrey Gaddison. She seems to be the most athletic and the point guard of this offense. So it'll be interesting to see how Matamidi approaches that in the future of this game.
Yeah, definitely agree. She's facilitating a lot of offense here for St. Croix Prep. Doing a nice job passing, as I believe she found number 20, Haug, on that last bucket. Here's the Zephyrs. St. Croix Lutheran starting to get into it. Here's Lydia Mall inside of Grotehouse. Nice strong move.
Now I'd like to correct something we've been saying. We said they were in a 2-3 zone, but as I've been watching, and I noticed I think they were running a diamond and 1 on Emma Grotehouse. So it'll be interesting to see how she handles that. For those of you who don't know, a diamond and 1 is a man-to-man on Emma Grotehouse and a zone all the way around. So basically wherever she goes, she's double-teamed, and yet she's still finding a way early in this game to score. Do you think that'll have an effect on her later? Have maybe bigger contributions from other members of the Matamidi Zephyrs?
Well, to be honest, in the past of what I've seen, it doesn't really matter if you double-team Emma Grotehouse, because she'll be able to find her way to the basket and score. But I do like the concept of the diamond defense. Diamond 1 is what you called it, Tim?
Yep, diamond and 1. So
far, for St. Croix Lutheran, I think it's working out pretty well, as They're only down 2 here early on to the Zephyrs. And in last game, I can tell you this was not the case. Zephyrs jumped out to a quick 10-0 lead. So St. Croix Lutheran showing a little bit more fight here early on.
Absolutely. At first glance, you have to give Matamidi the benefit of the doubt on this kind of a game. They look like they should come out here and handle the floor with these St. Croix Crusaders. But they've really stuck around in these first few minutes, so it'll be interesting to see where this game goes.
Here's Gaddison for St. Croix Lutheran. She's looking to make something happen. Dribbles to the right wing. Goes back to the top of the key. She's defended by Sugstead. Zephyr's doing a nice job on defense as they cause that turnover right there. Be their ball. I think checking in the game for Lutheran is number 35, Miller. She's wearing the goggles like I used to back in my freshman playing days, Timmy.
Oh, man, those are the days, Nels, I got to tell you. Seeing you show up every day with those sports goggles made the practice and made the game for me.
Yeah, that was very, very fun year.
You know, there are things such as contacts, right? What's the thought process going behind getting the goggles instead of maybe contacts? Was it the style? You can be honest. Was it the style?
Well, I usually say style, fashion statement, but you know, it just, I got them when I was in 7th grade and it just kind of stuck with me. And plus, of course, I thought they were in style, so.
Well, I gotta be honest, as a basketball player, when I'm defending someone with goggles, I'm going to underestimate them. At the end of the day, I'm going to underestimate them, and that gives you an advantage. So I guess that's one reason.
Meanwhile, on the court, I believe there's a blocking foul on Lydia Mall. Defensive, St. Croix Lutheran would take it out of bounds.
Good defensive pressure thus far in the game for the Matamidi Zephyrs. They've caused multiple turnovers as Audrey Gaddison drives left, pulls up and just misses. Zephyr ball coming down the court. 13-11 with 11 minutes left in the game. Zephyrs are in the lead.
Miami Zephyrs defeated the #1 girls team in state roughly a week and a half ago, I believe. And they have yet to lose this season. Here comes Lutheran now after that Miami miss. In transition, number 35, Miller. She draws the foul. She'll go to the free throw line and shoot 2.
And that is a foul on Lydia Mall. And that was her first and Matamidi's third foul. Pardon me, fourth foul.
Fortunately, I think that may have been her second, and she may have to check out of the game after this free throw attempt by Miller. She knows the first one.
We have a platoon of seniors coming back into the game for the Matamidi Zephyrs. I do believe everyone on the court right now is a senior. Do you think that has a key part in the fact that they are currently undefeated?
You know, I definitely do, Timmy. It's the continuity through the years of high school of playing together at the high level and getting experience when possibly. Excuse me, folks. I think we may have had technical difficulties there for about 5 seconds, but we're back at it. We're all good. Back to Timmy's question regarding the senior. I think it's very crucial. Builds continuity over the years. And it's really shown as this team was one shot away last year of advancing to the state tournament. And I really believe that it is likely again this year.
Good teamwork there to find Eve Farrell next to the basket for 2. Matamidi is up 15-12.
Here's St. Croix Lutheran. Good defense there by Sugstead. However, number 32, number 32, Moon, was able to corral it. Here's Gaddison, looking full court pass. Little off there. Number 3, Callie McGully is able to corral that rebound.
And a foul on St. Croix Prep's number 2, Audrey Gaddison. Now, this is going to have a big impact on the game if she finds herself in foul trouble. She seems to be a leader on this team, and if they don't have her, I think that could dramatically change.
Is that her second or third?
I do believe that is Audrey's 3rd foul of the game, and that's going to put her on the bench for pretty much the rest of the half. Wouldn't you think I'm right?
Yeah, I definitely agree with that, Timmy, because you don't want to risk it and possibly have her get her 4th going into the second half. So that is a tough one for Lutheran. Hopefully the Zephyrs can capitalize off of that. Here they are now. There's 12, Hannah Laughlin.
Great ball movement by the Matamidi Zephyrs thus far in the game, dealing with St. Croix Prep's zone as Annika Sogstad draws a blocking foul as she drives to the hoop. I believe they called a shooting foul, so she will be at the line shooting 2.
Starting to look like a lot like last home game. Refs were calling a lot of fouls. I believe the game lasted like 2 hours long. It was a big part of the reason why the Zephyrs were able to nail 45 free throws. There's a rare missed free throw attempt by Sugstead. She'll shoot her second. That one's good.
Matamidi is looking to press here off of the made free throw by Annika Sogstad. They are looking to do just a what looks to be a simple zone press, and St. Croix Prep finds their way through it, and number 32, Kenna Moon, gets herself a wide open layup, misses, and St. Croix gets the rebound, and oh no, Matamidi gets the rebound, and St. Croix fouls. Matamidi ball.
Wow, another foul. They're going to be, I'm going to make a prediction. Matamidi is going to be in the 1-and-1 with 7 minutes to go. Only 2 more to go. Here come the Zephyrs now. Sugstead has it at the top of the key.
St. Croix Prep is still sticking to this zone, even though Matamidi is starting to have a lot of success. And Matamidi's ball movement is proving to be tough for the zone to guard.
Yeah, it looks like they're almost triple teaming Emma Grothaus, which is really struggling for the Zephyrs, as she is a big offensive source for them. And is this another foul?
A very ticky-tack foul call.
Oh my goodness.
On number 5, Abby Rash, as you know, the fouls are just stacking up for St. Croix Prep, and I think it's going to really end up hurting them in the long run here. As of right now, they're only down 4, but if this continues, Matamidi is going to be getting free throws, and we know how good they've been in the past at their free throws.
Yeah, St. Croix Lutheran definitely does not want to get in a situation where they're at 1-and-1 or maybe even shooting the double bonus. And well, here's Eve Farrell with the long jumper. Little off there. Rebound St. Croix Lutheran. Here comes 32 Moon taking up the court. She finds number 21 Montgomery. Back to Moon. Here's Miller on the drive.
Good drive by Stephanie Miller. She draws the foul and will go to the line for 2. Nils, that's your goggle girl.
Yeah. I mean,
it's proven to have a big impact on the game early.
We'll go with that. Here's Miller at the free throw line. I think St. Croix Lutheran did a good job finding the mismatch. She was able to drive to the hoop there and draw the foul. She nails the first one. Subbing into the game for the first time tonight for the Zephyrs, we got number 21, Anna Rainey. And coming back in, number 11, Josie Underwood.
Anna Rainey is a freshman, as I read here on the sheet. Do you think nerves have any part to do in how she does today, or do you think has she been getting in the rotation in these first few games, or is this a relatively new?
You know, Timmy, last game she checked in, and I have to say she showed great poise for being a freshman. She was able, it didn't really show up on the stat sheet, but she was doing a good job with her passing and really setting up her teammates for success, as Grothaus is able to draw the foul there.
And one thing I think Matamidi basketball does really well is we develop our younger players. Emma Grotehouse was someone who played as a freshman or as a sophomore, and as now you can see we are reaping the benefits of that. So I think it's really crucial. It's a crucial part of our program to have these young girls playing early in their high school careers.
Another team where I'd love to see that happen is the Minnesota Timberwolves, Timmy. I mean, they're off to a mediocre start this year, but with the talent that they have on their roster, I'd really love them to see them succeed a little bit more. Meanwhile, here comes the Zephyrs. Here's Josie Underwood with the ball. She's looking to make something happen. Sugsted's wide open for three. That's money. I believe that's her second attempt of the night, and she's nailed both of them.
And a steal by Sogstead as she comes down the court. It is 2-on-1 with Josie. She takes it herself, draws the foul, and just rims out. Annika Sagstad having a very good start to this game. She's had a very big impact. One thing we've kind of noticed is that the Matamidi scoring tends to be a little top-heavy with Emma Grotehouse scoring most of the time. So I think it's really important that you get players like Annika Sugstead and Eve Farrell and Josie and Hannah Laughlin contributing as they're doing tonight. I think it's very good.
Totally agree, Timmy. As St. Croix Lutheran, I believe, takes another timeout. Zephyrs 20, St. Croix Lutheran 14 here with 7 minutes, 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Zephyrs so far, so good. Not as good as last game, of course, but they're still showing a lot of fight and doing a good job, able to draw some fouls here. As I believe they are in the 1-and-1. Yep, they got 8 fouls. So if it's anything like last game, if they're able to get to the free throw line, Timmy, they've shown that they've been money from there, and they can be very successful.
Yes, I completely agree. It's tough to beat a team that's going to knock down free throws when you give them, and especially when you give them one-on-one this early in the game. Now, one thing I want to talk about, Mills, you mentioned just briefly earlier, is your participation in rec ball. One thing I've noticed with this new coach for the Matamidi Zephyrs is that he actually pulls in the guy rec ball teams to come to girls' practices and practice against the girls and scrimmage against the girls. Have you participated in that at all?
Timmy, I've been to one practice against the girls last year. We only had one practice with them, our recreational basketball team. And the highlight of the season actually occurred for me at the practice. As Marissa Gustafson, who was on the team last year, I came from help side defense and absolutely just stuffed her. And for a guy who is not that big in size, that was quite the accomplishment for me. However, this year it was Sugstead able to knock down the second one. This year, not quite as successful, but it was a good team effort against the girls in my one practice against them. So, and plus, our coach has talked to, or their coach, has talked to some of our players and really said that these practices have helped them out in a lot of their games, especially against when they beat the number one team in the state a week and a half ago. But yet again, players play, and they showed they're capable of doing it.
I think it's awesome that you guys are going out there and helping them out and providing great competition for them. I've watched a few practices, I've peeked my head in the gym a few times, and it seems like you guys are really quite even. The girls aren't quite used to the guys' aggressiveness on the defensive end, but I think that, just like you said, they beat De La Salle just over a week ago. I think that's really served to help them and make them a more aggressive team. And yeah.
Meanwhile, there's a loose ball on the floor. Emma Grotehouse is able to get it, but another timeout here. And it is 22-14. Zephyrs still have the lead. Well, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Good game so far. We just had a timeout 30 seconds ago. But let's see here. Timmy, you're on the varsity basketball team for the men. You're off to a good 3-0 start this year.
Or actually 4-0.
4-0, excuse me. I believe you dropped 10-14 last night in your first, was it your first home start?
It was our first home game last night. We had an awesome crowd out here. Played Stillwater, and I believe we won by 7 points. I can't quite remember the score, but it was really good support from the community, and it was a really fun really fun night. I'm looking forward to this Friday where we play Columbia Heights here at home.
Debatably the biggest game of the year, maybe?
Debatably the biggest game of the year just because they are in our section and are the main team blocking us from our road to state.
You know, I saw on Twitter that ESPN was at your game last night. Can you confirm or deny?
Yeah, I just want to say how grateful we are for such an awesome student section. We had our one and only Mills Armitage and a few other rec ball players come out. They had a little ESPN sign and an ESPN table, and they were commentating right in the middle of the student section. And they really played a huge role in the game, just being loud and rooting for us and kind of getting in the heads of the Stillwater players.
Yeah, the student section was chirping at us the entire night, but nonetheless, we were able to pull out the victory. I don't think they had the lead once at all the entire night, but all in all, it was a fantastic game.
At the end of the day, they can say whatever they want to you. As long as you can chant scoreboard back, you're going to win the chant. Yeah. You're going to win that battle.
Scoreboard is the best chirp. Meanwhile, it is beginning to be a rainstorm here in the gym, Timmy, as that is back-to-back threes for the Zephyrs by Lydia Mall and then Josie Underwood.
And a steal by Eve Farrell as Matamita gains the ball back once again and looks to push the ball up the court.
And just like that, Timmy, after those two 3-pointers, it's a 14-point game. Here's Sugstad looking.
St. Croix still deciding to stay in this, what looks to be 2-3 diamond and one-ish zone. Do you think it's smart that they should continue to do this even when Matamita is shooting this well?
You know, I think they should. As a coach, if I were one, I definitely want the team I'm playing against to shoot long jump shots rather than getting inside to like the Emmett Roadhouse of the world and finish easy layups. So I think they should continue that because I think the Zephyrs are taking the shots that they want them to take, but this is such a good team. They can kill you in so many aspects of the game, and they're proving it right now.
But I do believe when we get to the second half and St. Croix is going to need to start picking up the tempo if they want to have a chance to come back. It's going to be tough to do that in the zone where Matamita can just throw the ball around and take time. So I do think at some point in this game they're going to need to leave their zone and come out and pressure.
That's definitely true, Timmy. And plus, got to be thinking St. Croix Lutheran is missing number 2 Gaddison right now, who's on the bench with 3 fouls.
At what point, Nils, would you as a coach decide to just put her in if the game's getting out of hand and you need some sort of spark?
You know, I think really you got to sit her this first half. And nice hustle there by number 32, Eve Farrell. I think you just got to sit her this first half because if she were to somehow get her 4th, then you're looking at a huge chunk of time in the second half. And then you're looking at possibly no shot of getting a spark from her.
The Zephyrs are currently on a about 12-0 run with their 3 threes off out of the timeout and get another steal off of pressing and just miss the layup and they fall back on D. St. Croix Prep bringing the ball down. What do you think they need to do differently offensively? They're getting some looks, but they're just not quite converting.
No, I think they need to attack the zone, probably penetrate and look for easy shots such as layups or floaters. Because right now, the Zephyrs D on the perimeter, like right there. Boom. Just off there. Number 20 missing that. And a good steal there by number 23, Valuri. Here's Luther.
You can tell that St. Croix Prep is missing their ball handler as they are just passing the ball around the outside, and Matamita is getting many, many steals in his last few minutes. Do you think the re-entrance of Audrey Gaddison will make an effect on the second half and possibly give St. Croix a chance to make a run?
You know, the few minutes I've seen her play, I definitely think they can because she can do a lot. She's proven that she can nail the jump shot, can nail the floater, and get her teammates involved. So I definitely think when she comes back into the game, that'll be bad news for the Zephs. But meanwhile,
St. Croix Prep with another careless turnover. I got to be honest. It truly does look like they're missing their leader right now. They are throwing careless passes and giving up wide open jumpers as Matamita just misses a baseline jumper. Hannah Laughlin grabs the rebound, kicks it out to number 31 from Miami Zephyrs, who just barely rims out. And another offensive rebound by Hannah Laughlin. As she brings it out and begins to start the offense again against this 2-3 zone.
Right now, the effort level, Zephyrs are definitely outplaying Lutheran as another offensive rebound.
Third offensive rebound by Hannah Laughlin.
My goodness. Come on, Lutheran. Zephs will take it. Showing 100% effort out there tonight. And there's a foul. They'll go to the free throw line, shoot 1 and 1.
Foul on number 5, Abby Rash. There we go again. That's free free throws that Matamida is almost sure to convert on. And that's what's really going to hurt St. Croix in this game.
Number 21, Montgomery, is looking gassed out there, Timmy. Possibly Zephyrs showing better strength of conditioning. I know how hard they work in some of their practices with our rec ball team, going to visit them a couple times.
And when you have foul trouble early in the game, it really messes up the rotations for substitutions. You have players such as Abby Rash that are having to play many minutes where they usually don't because of certain foul trouble. So that's going to be very tough for St. Croix to overcome.
Here comes St. Croix Lutheran now. Number 32, Moon, has the ball. I think she's been one of the only other facilitators other than Gaddison to score the ball for St. Croix Lutheran.
Number 35, Stephanie Miller, drives and draws the foul. She will be at the line shooting 2. The score is 29 Zephyrs to 14 St. Croix, and there is 2 minutes and 44 seconds left in the half. I don't believe St. Croix has scored for approximately 4 minutes, so if she were to put one in here, that would break the run Matamida is on, and she does. So she puts the first one in, give St. Croix hopefully a little boost in this game.
I don't believe Miller's missed a free throw here tonight, Timmy. That's very reminiscent of my days as a freshman. I mean, I wasn't known for my long distance shooting. I mean, I wasn't known for my backing it down and getting the hard layups.
Yeah, the similarities between you two just keep coming. I'm excited to watch the rest of this game. See if she has any more similarities with you.
Annika Sugstead is wide open. She's called for it. She's backing down. No foul call. Good defense there by number 21, Valuri. Here comes St. Croix Lutheran. Number 32, Moon, looking. Here's Valuri. Looking to make a move. Good defense by Grotehouse, but Miller is able to corral it. Here's a long 3. Way off. Zephyrs will take it now. Here's Laughlin. Under 2 minutes to go here in the first half. I have to say, defense is looking very impressive on Emma Grotehouse as they are just about triple teaming her.
Yeah, Emma Grotehouse has 5 points this half, and that is not what we thought coming into the game. But as you can see, Annika Sugstead has really picked up the slack. She has 15 points in this half so far, en route to 30-point game if she continues this success. I think this is actually a good thing for Matamidi. I think it's good to learn to rely on other people when a team decides to really focus on Emma Grotehouse. So it's encouraging to see that they can rally around that as Emma Grotehouse takes it in and gets an and one. Just as we were saying, she's been struggling a little bit this half. She decides to take it in and get an and one. She's at the line, shooting 1. The score is 31 Zephyrs to 16 St. Croix. A minute 30 left.
Yeah, that was unfortunate turn of events there, Timmy, that just occurred. I think number 35, Miller, was looking for the foul call on Grotehouse. He went down hard, and because of that, that leads to a easy 4-on-5 as Grotehouse is able to draw the and one. And I believe she just got the 4-point play.
And so, just like that, she's almost doubled her point total for this game. She is now at 9, and the Zephyrs have a substantial lead, 33-16.
Tough turn of events there for St. Croix Lutheran as they try to carry some momentum into the second half. Nice pass by Miller. And my goodness.
And I don't even know if she saw that girl. That might have been an accidental. She looked like she was trying to go out to the perimeter, and ball maybe got tipped, and it landed in the right hands. And that's 2 points for St. Croix.
I do have to say that's something Miller is probably better at than I was, the passing game.
Mills was more of the enter the game, hit the dagger three, run along the sidelines screaming, get back on D. And yeah, that was more of Mills' game.
That was me, folks. As here's Sugstad going on the free throw line, shoot 2.
One thing the Zephyrs have really been focusing on this game is that baseline shot. One thing about the 2-3 zone is that it really opens up those baselines, and so far the Zephyrs have really taken advantage as Annika Sugstad was just fouled on her shot on the baseline.
I think Emma Grodehouse is going to get this rebound right here. I
Wow,
called
Mills,
it.
It is almost like you can tell the future.
I got the je ne sais quoi. What can I say?
Je ne sais quoi.
Here's
I don't know
Josie
what that
Underwood
means, but
for 3. Oh, my goodness.
can you define je ne sais quoi for the listeners?
Ladies and gentlemen, I do speak French. I do speak Spanish.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
But here we got je ne sais quoi, which is a French term meaning, or I do believe in the, or yes, French term meaning. It is a quality that cannot be accurately described. And yes, I just was being very cocky there and said that I had that. Meanwhile, here's Grodehouse in the lane, and she misses that one.
I think she may have been fouled there, but the ref decided to have a little no call, which I appreciate, keeping the game rolling, keep the fast breaks going as Matamita gets the rebound and takes it down. And freshman 21 for the Matamita Zephyrs, Anna Rani draws the foul on the fast break and will go to the line shooting 2.
The Zefs are becoming, the refs, I think, Timmy, are becoming a little inconsistent here on some of their foul calls. I think going the Zephyr's way a little bit, which, I mean, as a Zephyr fan, I will take any day of the week. But I think you can sense the frustration a little bit by St. Croix as they're down quite a bit.
Yeah, these refs definitely started calling very ticky-tack fouls at the beginning of the game, and they've kind of backed off now. I would really like if they were to remain a little more consistent in the game, but overall they've done a very good job so far and kept the game under control.
Is Rainey missing the second free throw attempt? 10 seconds left here to go in the first half. St. Croix Lutheran looking to make something happen. Here's 23, Valuri from way downtown. That's off. Zephyrs could get a shot off here. Here's Underwood. She's fouled? Travel.
I don't know about that call, Nils. I'm going to be honest. I thought there was a foul there, and that's a tough call to make as a ref. Foul right before half, but I do think that's a call that should have been made. I didn't see the foul there. I have to be honest with you.
Well, they got .3 on the clock. I don't know how they're going to get it off, and they won't. Well, ladies and gentlemen, at the end of one, your Mountain United Zephyrs are leading big 35-18 against St. Croix Lutheran. This is a great half of basketball, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, it seemed pretty evenly matched throughout, but I think the Zephs are just showing how great of a team they can be because they're up 17 points in.
And they're on their way to a 70-point game, and in a high school basketball game, that is very impressive. You don't see many games that a team gets to 70 points, so I really think their offense is clicking. I would like to see a little more ball pressure on the defensive side, and especially as St. Croix gets Audrey Gaddison back, I'm really intrigued to see how they decide to help on her and maybe key in on her defensively.
Definitely agree, Timmy. Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Monteverde Zephyr Women's Basketball live stream on YouTube. I am Nils Armitage, joined alongside Timmy Lindquist. We will be back in roughly 5 to 10 minutes for a second half. Please stay tuned.
Welcome back, faithful followers. We are here to watch a second half. It is Timmy Lindquist and Nils up in the booth. We have a score of 35 Zephyrs to 18 St. Croix. We're looking for another eventful first half. Nils, give us the recap of the first half. What do you think?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it was some fantastic basketball played out there, as we're getting the thumbs up currently from Jake Packinen. But going back to the first half of basketball, is nice job by the Zephs. It was kind of a grind first half, if you will. They went to the free throw a lot of times, able to draw a lot of fouls, and they did what they did best, make free throws.
Absolutely. If I were to say the main thing in the first half was the foul calling. There were so many fouls called early that there was one-on-one very early in the game. So I'm looking to see if St. Croix comes out maybe a little more passive. Very interesting that number 2, Audrey Gaddison, is starting the game, even though she has 3 fouls. Look for Matamidi to attack her early, maybe get another ticky-tack foul, put her out of the game for a while.
Yeah, Audrey Gaddison, one of the better players on the St. Croix Lutheran team, has 3 fouls here to begin the second half. She got all 3 in the first half, and just like that, another foul is on St. Croix Lutheran. And I think I just saw Gaddison laughing because she can't believe the call, Timmy.
Number 5, Abby Rash, is already fouled out of the game. I repeat, she's already fouled out of the game. And we are 14 seconds in to the second half.
Come on now.
And we already have a St. Croix Lutheran fouled out as Emma Groothuis is at the line shooting 2.
Hey, Timmy, I have seen worse, because I saw last night Michael Beasley, who's on the New York Knicks. He got 6 fouls in the NBA, 6 fouls foul out. He got 6 in 10 minutes of play.
Really?
So that is less than 1 quarter. So I have seen worse.
Well,
but
I guess there is worse, but this is still pretty shocking to see in high school basketball. A player is already fouled out.
Yeah, in the game yesterday also, I did the B Squad game, the scoreboard, and Nick Shatinsky, a sophomore, fouled out with, I think, 5 minutes to go in the second half, and his teammates gave him applause for fouling out. I don't know why, but is what it is.
And another foul called on the Matamidi Zephyrs. That's 2 fouls in the first 30 seconds of play, as number 2, Audrey, lines up for 3 and just rims out. Matamidi ball going down the court.
Here come the Zephs now. Gaddison trying to get involved offensively there, but she was a little strong on her 3-point attempt.
And St. Croix coming back with another half of zoning, what's looked like to be a zone, as Emma Groothuis gets the ball down low, flicks it up, and it goes in. Everything she's seemed to shoot tonight has gone in. She's played really confident and smooth, and I'm looking forward to another big half from Emma Groothuis and Annika Sogstad.
Here's Gaddison looking at the corner. Finds number 32, Moon. A nice passing there.
Great ball movement by St. Croix. That's what they're going to have to do if they want a chance at winning this game. Matamidi is going to play high-pressure defense.
And there's great defense by Miller. Timmy, you could say that was maybe one of the strengths of me, comparing me and Miller here again tonight.
What was your strength? I'm lost.
Okay, come on, man.
No. You were a great player, great spark off the bench, and I gotta say the strongest part of your game was your dagger 3, to be honest. You had the highest percent shooting when the dagger was needed.
Folks, I think I shot like 4 all year, and I made 3 of them.
That's 75% shooting. You don't see that anywhere. Now, granted, you took 4 threes, but 75% shooting, that's pretty efficient.
Here's another foul on St. Croix Lutheran. They have 2 very early here in the second half, and that is not good news for them as they trail by 19. Here's the Zephyrs working on O. Hugh Farrell looking at Emma Groothuis, but Josie Underwood shoots a wide open 3, and I think St. Croix Lutheran will let them take those.
And foul drawn by Emma Groothuis. She'll be at the line shooting 2. She has not gotten the ball directly through Matamidi's offense very much tonight, as St. Croix has been almost double teaming her everywhere she's gone. But she's been really efficient on the offensive boards and has drawn quite a few fouls as she's back at the line shooting 2. Matamidi is up 39-20 with 15 left.
She nails her first one. Checking in the game for St. Croix Lutheran, we got number 34, Johnson, who may be checking in for the first time tonight. He checks in for Miller. And Groothouse 2 of 2 from the line. Yeah, if St. Croix wants to get back in this game, Timmy, they gotta start quickly here on the offensive end. Try to maybe get some points here, led by Gaddison. She's working. That was a beautiful move.
And Gaddison hits Matamidai with a step back mid-range jumper. That looked really impressive, Mills. If she can keep that up, I think St. Croix has a chance of making a run here.
Yeah, Gaddison again displaying her offensive ability, but there's Hannah Laughlin for the 3. Another
Groothouse once again on the offensive board as she gets it. Finds Hannah, who finds Josie in the corner, puts up the 3, and that's good. Matamidai is up 43-22. And then Matamidai started the second half once again really hot from the 3-point line as St. Croix calls a timeout, trying to figure out their defense.
Ladies and gentlemen, I believe that was Josie Underwood's third 3-pointer of the night. So she's having herself quite the game so far. And the Zephs are leading here by 21. St. Croix Lutheran calls another timeout. Well, Timmy, I think it's pretty evident if St. Croix Lutheran wants any chance of getting back in this game, I'm thinking Gaddison is going to have to start racking up points pretty quickly here.
She seems to be the only person who can really take Matamidai one-on-one. I think they need to play more as a team offensively, and I also do believe that number 2, Audrey Gaddison, is going to have an awesome game if they want to have a chance. Matamidai looks to apply some pressure here early as St. Croix Prep looks to inbound the ball. And St. Croix Prep inbounds the ball to Audrey as she brings it down the court. Crosses over Hannah Laughlin a few times, draws the help. And they're really moving the ball well right now as they find an open look. Just missed the 3-pointer. Emma Groothouse gets the rebound, brings it down on the fast break, pulls up for a little mid-range in the lane, and that's good. She's been very efficient with her shooting tonight, Mills. It's really been impressive. She only has 17, and I say only because usually at this point she's at around 25, but she's been very efficient with her shot taking, and it's been really impressive.
Yeah, you know, I'm impressed because I think with like 2 minutes to go in the first half, she only had like 5 points, and just like that, she's at 17. And Zeph's looking again inside to her, but that is stolen away. Here comes St. Croix. Number 2, Gaddison, has the ball at the top of the key.
And these last 2 possessions for St. Croix have been Gaddison pulling up from deep, step back from mid-range. And I don't think that's the way they're going to win this game. I think it's going to have to be as a team. Because Audrey Gaddison, number 2 for St. Croix, can only do so much.
Nice defense there by number 34, Johnson. Here comes the Zephs, but Saugstad, good mental toughness by her, able to knock the ball out of bounds. And out of bounds out the door, I believe. That made its way into the Commons cafeteria.
The old cafeteria.
And my goodness, still trying to get that ball. And there she is. Yeah, the Zephyr's D has just really been unbelievable, because I think a lot of the points they accumulate, Timmy, is good defense. Like, they'll cause a couple of turnovers and get a lot of points in transition.
Just as just happened right now with an over and back call on St. Croix. That is just a byproduct of Matamidai deciding they want to apply pressure, where on the other side, St. Croix is deciding to sit back in their zone, which I think has really played a part in Matamidai playing at ease. And would you look at that, Nils? Just as we have predicted, St. Croix Prep has left their zone and are now playing a high-pressure man defense. Let's see how the Zephyrs decide to deal with that.
Yeah, I think they gotta get to that. Unfortunately, I think that'll lead to teammates being wide open like that, because if you're going to play man defense on Emma Groothouse, I think that means somebody's going to be open, just like Saley Underwood there, as she was able to finish that and one. Nice job by her. Saley Underwood, Timmy, the younger sister of Josie, who was in our grade. Very impressive so far.
It's fun to see the two sisters out there playing together. You could tell, they're pretty close. They have good chemistry as they work together. They're out there on the court, and really all the Matamidi Zephyrs have great chemistry. You got to wonder. Tell us a little bit about these practices that you have been a part of. Is it competitive? Is it more of the rec ball team against the girls team, or is it more of kind of a mixed?
I think it's a combination of both, because we got excuse me, foul on the floor here. We got a good combination on our team. We got what I like to call big three of Connor Henningsen, Andrew Pramel, and me. But of course, the competitive side comes out against us, Timmy, as we play the girls and practice them.
Well, of course. I mean, knowing the nature of this whole thing, there must be some sort of
yes, definitely.
competitiveness between you guys.
I can tell you, we try 110% each time.
Does it ever get a little chippy? Do you ever find yourself getting a little chippy in practice?
I think a couple times it has, but you know what? It is what it is. We're just out here trying not to get embarrassed because this girls team is good. I mean, they have players like Emma Grodehouse. They got players like Annika Sugstead.
And Emma Grodehouse just hits another baseline shot. Her shooting percentage tonight is outstanding. It feels like every shot she's taken has gone in, or she's gotten the offensive rebound. So she's been very efficient tonight.
I mean, just up and down this whole roster, Timmy, everybody's able to contribute something to the game. Players that are young, and of course, they got a ton of seniors on this team. As Emma Grodehouse goes for the long three-pointer. A little off there, but what do you know? She's able to corral. Nope. Nice defense there. Here comes Gaddison. Going to make a move. Here's St. Croix Lutheran. Some nice poetry in motion with the passing. And that is a long three.
Very good passing there by St. Croix. It reminds me a little bit of the San Antonio Spurs. Not quite, of course, but that was very good motion. That's how they're going to have to beat Matamidi. It's very good ball movement. And that all starts with number 2, Audrey Gaddison, whether she's going to decide she wants to go one-on-one or she wants to include the other members of her team and really work the ball around her. And that's what they did there, and it worked out for them.
Timeout here by Matamidi, I believe, first one of the night. 20-point lead here for the Zephyrs. It is 50-30 as they lead with 11:26 here to go in the second half. Timmy Gaddison has come in here, knocked 2 or 3 shots down, but nonetheless, the Zephyrs are still up 20 points here. Hasn't really phased them at all.
If St. Croix would like to come back in this game, it's going to need to start pretty soon. With only 12 minutes left in the game, they're going to need to start their run relatively soon, and that all starts on the defensive side. It all starts on whether they can get stops from the seemingly unstoppable Matamidi Zephyrs right now, whose offense is already at 50 points with 12 minutes left.
Here's Josie Underwood. She has the ball at the top of the key for the Zephyrs. Looks like
there's one thing I'm curious about is, what are your thoughts on the girls basketball coach? I don't know too much about him. I know he's relatively new. So what are your thoughts on him? Tell us a little bit about what he's like.
I can tell you he is very intense. He is very specific in what he wants done, and he wants hustle. If you're not doing those 3 things, he'll probably take you out of the game. But
do you have any, funny or meaningful interactions you've had with him that you can think of?
Oh, Timmy, of course. Last year when our rec ball team scrimmaged him, here's Gaddison. That's got to be money. Off there. Last year when our rec ball team scrimmaged him, man, it's a mad scramble out on the floor. And Gaddison, wow. She's looking like Steph Curry out there.
Gaddison is confidently shooting tonight. Even when she just comes off of a miss, she goes right back at it and puts up another shot. Very impressive.
She's up to 13 on the night.
Anyway, Nils, you were talking about your interactions with a head coach of Matamidi Zephyrs.
Yeah, Timmy, last year when we scrimmaged them, one of my good buddies, Eric Menz. Eric, love you. Love you, buddy.
Hope you're listening.
Hope you're listening. He was trying to set a pick and roll on, I think it was, I can't remember who was guarding who. I think it was maybe like Maggie Frecken or something like that. And he was struggling with the concept of the pick and roll and literally took Eric and like did the pick and roll with him because that's how articulate he wanted things to be done. He wanted it to be like game-like situations. But there's Saley Underwood able to knock down that long two-point jump shot. That'd be one of the funny stories I got from Zephyr's head coach.
But all in all, he is a man who is very, very detailed, and he knows what he wants. And I think it's really played a part in the Zephyr's success this far.
Yeah, he's definitely changed the culture, if you will, here.
And substitutions for Matamidi, number 3, Callie Magoli, and number 32, Eve Farrell enter the game for the Matamidi Zephyrs. Once again, we have an all-senior lineup. I think Matamidi is looking to really extend their lead in the next few minutes with these seniors on the court as Emma Growhouse drives baseline, gets her own rebound, puts it back up for 2. She's been very, very dominant offensively tonight, Mills.
Yeah, if you get her one-on-one, she will not be stopped because she's got the height advantage, and she really uses that to her benefit as right there, able to get the offensive rebound, and my goodness.
Gaddison pulls up again from deep and nails it. She has been very, very impressive. She's playing with 3 fouls, so she must be careful on the defensive end, but that has not stopped her from really affecting the game offensively.
Yeah, she is putting her skills on display, especially from beyond the three-point line, and she's really keeping this team in the game, if you will.
And a questionable traveling call on Emma Growhouse. I'm going to be honest, Mills, I didn't see it, but I'm going to trust the refs here that they got the right call. They've done a really good job tonight overall.
Here we got a sub for St. Croix Lutheran. Checking out of the game is number 32, Moon, and then checking in, number 11, Maki.
And I wouldn't be surprised, Mills, if Audrey Gaddison did not come out of the game the rest of this game. She is the key to this offense right now as she finds number 21, Rachel, on the baseline, who throws up a shot just off, and Matamidi gets the rebound. But I wouldn't be surprised if she didn't come out of the game.
You know, I think even if she gets her 4th foul here, I think since she has some momentum here, nailing a lot of shots, she's hot out on the floor.
I think you got to keep her in the game.
Yeah, definitely.
She is the source of their points this half. She has 16, but just let me remind you, she did not play much of the first half due to fouls, so that 16 is majoritively in the second half.
She's looking to make a move yet again, and she's able to draw the foul. I think Zephyr's head coach possibly looking for a 5-second call, Timmy. Maybe having the ball a little bit too long. Not quite sure.
It looked to me that she was making an aggressive move towards the hoop, so I don't think it quite should have been a 5-second call, but I do think that's something the refs should be watching, as she does like to dribble for quite some time outside the perimeter before making her move.
Here comes St. Croix Lutheran now. 57-38 here with 7:45 here to go. Nice defense there by E. Farrell, almost causing a turnover, but there's Annika Sugstead again, reading that pass like a book. And that is just too easy. That and one. And she's going back to the free throw line where I'm sure she will nail it.
And you can tell Audrey Gaddison is very, very tired right now. She's been in the entire half, and she is gasping for air. I think that's going to have a huge impact on the game because she's been pretty much the entire offense for St. Croix as Annika Sugstead shoots 2. She shoots 1. And just barely misses. St. Croix ball coming down the court.
Yeah, I think if St. Croix is going to continue in this man-on-man defense, I just don't see how they come back into this game. The way the Zephs are playing on the offensive end, and Gaddison's really been the source of and my goodness, Timmy.
She hits another baseline 3. That is her 4th 3, I believe, this half. I might be wrong. It might be 3 threes, but she's been very hot thus far.
She's definitely nailed her last 4. The Zephs know she's shooting. Or at least, I mean, if I was out there on the defensive end, I'm like, all we got to do is stop her.
At this point, I think it's smart to just face guard her. Maybe not let her, after she makes her first pass, not let her get the ball back. as she's really been the only source of points this half. One thing I have noticed this far is that the bigs for Matamidi, Eve Farrell and Emma Grohaus, have really dominated the board. It doesn't look like St. Croix has much besides number 35, Stephanie Miller, to grab the board. So Emma has been able to take advantage of that, and Eve Farrell thus far.
Yeah, totally agree. Here's Gaddison again, able to find a wide open number 11, Johnson. Here's a good offensive board.
And wide open three for Audrey Gaddison. We'll see if she knocks this down. No, she just barely misses. And that's funny because that's the most open three she's had all night. She's hit some pretty crazy shots, but that one was not able to fall.
Here's a foul call on number 25, Emma Grohaus. I think she was a little mad about that one, asking the referee what exactly the call was. We're checking in the game here for the Zephs. Number 21, Rainey, the freshman, coming back in for Lydia Mall.
She has had great contributions thus far in the game. She's had a few steals, and she currently has 1 point, but like you said before, it isn't quite shown the impact she's had on this game on the stat sheet.
And Timmy, St. Croix Lutheran can't seem to get anything to drop outside of Gaddison on her long three-pointers is number 20.
But they're continuing to really hustle, and that's what's keeping them relatively in this game so far. They are down 18 points, and if they want to get themselves back in this game, they're going to need a run, and this all starts with Audrey Gaddison right here.
Here's Gaddison. She's looking to shoot, and oh my, on the floor.
Now that is one thing I've noticed in high school basketball is they really do not appreciate the continuation, but on plays like that, I would like to see that be an and one because I do think that deserves an and one call. I don't think it should be as crazy as the NBA where you get two full steps.
There you go.
Two full steps, and maybe the foul doesn't even affect the shot anymore, and they still give the and one as Emma Grohaus is called for traveling. But I do think that there should be a little mediation there. I would like to see that call be an and one, as it was a good play by Audrey Gaddison.
Yeah, I agree, Timmy, but just like you said, I do not like many of the continuation calls in the NBA because it almost seems like 5 seconds have gone off after the foul, and then the dude puts it in the basket where it's like, whoa. And however, Gaddison wasn't able to get the call there, but here she is again. That's off there. Here come the Zephyrs. She is definitely gassed.
Yeah, she has missed her last 3 shots, and I think fatigue is the only reason that we can explain for that. She's gasping for air. The coach is deciding to leave her in, which I think is wise. If they want to have a chance, she needs to remain in the game. But I do think that she is tired, and I think that is playing a big effect on her shot.
Agreed, Timmy. Here she comes slowly coming up the court, fighting for energy, trying to find something. She's defended by Josie Underwood, and there's that crisscross. Here's Moon with the 3 off on that. Out of bounds. He'll stay with St. Croix Lutheran.
Watch for Audrey Gaddison to be getting the ball here off of the inbounds, and she comes off of what looks to be a double screen. But she's just simply too tired. You can tell she's not quite running the plays full. But here she is with the ball again. Gives Josie Underwood a jab step and goes left and finds number 32, Kenna Moon, who gives it right back to Audrey Gaddison. Up top, stops for a breather, runs off of a pick, draws the help, and dishes to number 20, Lucy Howard, for her first points of the night as she hits a 3 from deep.
There we go. St. Croix Lutheran finally getting some point contribution outside of Gaddison. And I believe this is the smallest lead in a while for the Zephyrs. 15 points, and here comes St. Croix Lutheran again after some great defense there on Rainey. There's 20 20 Haug with the ball. Here's Miller looking to make a move, and that's going the other way. And head coach from Matamidi is ecstatic.
That is a great job by Emma Grohaus.
After that charge call.
That is a great job by Emma Grohaus, getting in help side, putting her hands straight up, and falling back and drawing the charge.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a timeout on the floor. St. Croix Lutheran, yet again another one. Gaddison looking to get a breather finally for them. Well, Timmy, it is the smallest lead in a while for the Zephyrs, but still, obviously a pretty big lead of 15 points, and also good news for them. 4 minutes, 14 seconds to go here. I think St. Croix Lutheran's running out of a little time here. They're looking to see some more contributions of Gaddison. Hopefully, maybe get Miller involved here. But
you have Annika Sogstead substituting back into the game for the Matamidi Zephyrs, and she's been very, very good tonight. Her and Emma Groothouse make up most of the points for the Matamidi Zephyrs, and I think this is the stretch here that decides whether St. Croix has a chance in these next minute or so. If Matamidi continues to get stops and score, I think this game is just about over.
Couple of shout outs, ladies and gentlemen. Timmy and I know we don't have a camera on them, but we are currently wearing some Bonafide U t-shirts. Shout out to John Schweitz, fantastic member here in the community of Matamidi, starting this movement of kindness. Absolutely fantastic first meeting today.
Watch out for some big events coming in the future. We have a few community events happening at a few guys' varsity basketball games this year that we will be giving free apparel for, and possibly other fun activities. So be ready for that, and we will be getting the announcements out regarding the whole Bonafide U movement at Matamidi relatively soon.
Yeah, Timmy, I think I heard the Timberwolves or a representative of the T-Wolves will be coming to your game, I think January 8th, home game against St. Thomas.
And we stress representative of the Timberwolves because we are actually not quite sure yet who it could be.
Yeah.
You know, for all we know, Jimmy Butler could be walking through those doors. So just keep that idea in mind. We're not sure. We are not sure of anything, but just keep that in mind.
If that is the case, I can tell you from where I am right now, I would make any and every effort to sprint on the court and give him a high five, hug, or something. Meanwhile, here's Groothouse. She's a little short on that jumper attempt. Here comes St. Croix Lutheran Gaddison with the ball. I'm going to go on a limb here and say she's going to take this shot.
You've been right so far today with all your guesses, so I'm going to go with you. Oh,
she's looking to
picks
pass.
up her dribble.
Good defense by Underwood.
And a foul called on number 3, Callie McGully. Mills, this half has been a lot more reasonable with the foul calling, I got to say. Neither team is in the bonus, and we are with 3 minutes left. So I really appreciated that the refs have maybe drawn back a little bit on the ticky-tack fouls and let the girls play.
I agree. Some of the foul calls in the first half, I think both teams had disagreements on some of them because I think as refs you need to find that balance of letting the girls play but also being reasonable in the calls. As number 20, Hauge, does a great job on the offensive board. And it's a 13-point game here, Timmy.
And actually, Nils, just recently I have decided I'm going to become a ref for in-house basketball. And at a little meeting I was at, one thing I heard that I think is very true is that on every single call, you're going to have one team that disagrees with you. That's at the end of the day, you know, each coach is biased, and each coach is going to argue for his or her team. And so I really think the refs have done an amazing job tonight dealing with both coaches and giving calls both ways. They've been very even, and I've really appreciated that. And we have Josie Underwood at the line, shooting 2. Matamidi is up 59-46 with just about 3 minutes remaining.
Yeah, Timmy, I'd maybe argue that basketball is one of the hardest sports to ref because no matter if you just made one of the greatest calls ever, you're gonna receive scrutiny from one side of the gym, but just the way things go.
Well, in each game, there's refs that call the game differently, and I don't think the fans quite realize that. I don't think the coaches quite realize
That's
that.
true.
That each set of refs has their different calling style. Yep. Some refs will try to talk you out of a foul rather than giving that ticky-tack foul, and other refs will, just like we have tonight, will give that ticky-tack foul right away. As there's a controversial call on the court, the ball remains with St. Croix on the baseline. And just like we were talking about, Matamidi fans don't appreciate that, but at the end of the day, the refs were confident with it, and you got to believe that they were right.
Yeah, another great call by them. Here's St. Croix Lutheran now. Monica Sugstead with almost another steal, but she stepped out of bounds there. About 2.5 minutes here to go in the game. It's looking like Mahtomedi is getting to that time where could be calling it a dub. But meanwhile, St. Croix Lutheran is trying to chip away at that lead. Here's Miller. Cross court over to number 21, or 20, Haug. She's in the lane looking to make a move over Magali. Or excuse me, Eve Farrell, and that one's good. 12-point game, Timmy.
This is the closest it's been since really the first half, as Audrey Gaddison gets a steal, brings it down, and just misses a layup. If they're going to have a chance at this, there's going to be very few misses that are going to be needed from St. Croix for the rest of this game.
And if you're St. Croix Lutheran, that is a very tough miss. Turnover by Mahtomedi.
As that could have potentially brought the game to a 10-point game if she had put that in.
No, it's a 12-point game, and I think no shot clock here. Mahtomedi is just looking to burn up time.
And a very wise play by Hannah Laughlin, not taking that three-pointer where maybe she would have earlier in the game. Mahtomedi just looking to pass the ball around and really take up time. There's 1:30 left. In reality, Nils, there doesn't need to be a shot for Mahtomedi the rest of this game. They can hold the ball out. As you and I both know, there is no shot clock in high school basketball. So they really can hold the ball for the rest of the game. But as I just said, Josie Underwood decides to throw up a three-point shot and just barely rims out. And St. Croix ball on the baseline. Liz, what are your thoughts on, there's been a lot of debate over whether high school basketball should have a shot clock or not. What are your thoughts concerning that?
You know, I know in college a few years ago, they lowered the shot clock. They had it at like 35 seconds and lowered it to 30. I think 30 seconds for a shot clock is perfect time.
So do you think maybe high school basketball should consider implementing?
I definitely think they should consider, because if you're a team like the Zephyrs right now, really in the last 3 minutes of the game,
they haven't had to shoot.
You can just hold the ball, run some motion offense, and if they're a great free throw shooting team like the Zephyrs, they can really take advantage of that if the other team wanted to foul and stop the clock. So I definitely think that's something. I don't know who makes the decisions on that. I think that'd be something to really consider.
And there's 30 seconds left in the game, and the Zephyrs are up 60-48 as Annika Sarse was just fouled. She will be at the line shooting a 1-and-1.
Crusader foul number 11, Matthew, player 17, Zane
Sugstead.
Yep.
Excuse me, Tim.
You got it, Nils.
My bad.
You got it, Nils.
Sugstead nails the first one. She is at 22 points, ladies and gentlemen, on the night. She nails the second one. Well, looks like Zephyrs will get out of here with the win tonight, but nonetheless, very impressive performance from St. Croix Lutheran team, and specifically number 2 Gaddison. Still trying to get a bucket here. And you know what? Why
Puts
not?
one in from very, very deep, and that's just how the game's gone for her. Unfortunately for her team was not quite good enough tonight to overcome the Zephyrs. As the Zephyrs now have gone to an undefeated record. Are they 6-0? What do you know their exact record? I'm not sure quite how many games they've had, but I know they are undefeated and looking to have a very, very good start to their season.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, final score here in Mahtomedi. Your Zephyrs 62, St. Croix Lutheran 51. I'd say overall, pretty competitive matchup. St. Croix Lutheran was led by the play of number 2, Audrey Gaddison, but Zephyrs were just too much on the defensive end and offense.
You had Annika Sogstad and Emma Gronehouse both with 20-plus points, and when you have that kind of a night from 2 of your players, it's going to be tough for the other team to overcome.
Totally agree, Timmy. Well, great job by the Zephyrs, able to pull out yet again another W. Timmy, I had a fantastic time here tonight.
Hey, thank you for having me. It's been an honor. Hopefully, I'll be able to come back some other time in this season when I do not have a game. but I look forward to possibly the future of commentating with you.
Appreciate that, Timmy. Always fun time. And next game, ladies and gentlemen, will be this Friday. Timmy and the Zephs will be taking on Columbia Heights here at home. I will be back in the announcing booth with Jonah Smithson. So overall, great night here as Zephs pull out the dub. Ladies and gentlemen, have a great rest of your night. You have been listening to Miami Zephyr Women's Basketball. This is Nils Armitage alongside my good friend Timmy Lindquist. Have a great night.